well. Let me determine when I get it. So like, I would move that.
But I'm very. Like I don't know. Like this. Now I'm looking for like 100. I don't think. I just know what kind of going to do with that hiking. Or I can go back to. Yeah. It's so yeah. Yeah, no, it's tough, man.
Like, look, I don't have to.
How far do you do it?
With tractor, without tractor, that's one tractor. Without, with tractor.
Too far.
No, for real.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like. And then when I come this way, like right off, you know, that intersection, that's over there. And like sometimes the freight trains, other times, oh, it must be. And then
I think
whatever,
the match was like quick.
Metro was like quick. Well, like I remember last year, it was fall. I finished with my and literally like there's a train that was there, whatever it was that freight train, and it's like going forward. I'm like, I ended up being like sister or something like that. It's like, like not just like this sister.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it was just like a. So yeah, so
Yeah, listen here. I want to change anything that is not really. I want to do a non-licensed one, so maybe I'll do the license there. So I'm trying to switch.
I think
Oh, to donate to the place, I looked into it. You can't take it Parkish wise automatically. You have to call that site. You know, saying where did you get it? You have to give us. I have to give you supervisor over there. You have, and they'll tell you the ways to do it. So they have specific people that have created what is a placeholder.
Yeah.
But there's specific people that will take it and we have to put there to like all of it. I'll give you the person number for it.
That's
And
perfect.
then you ask Mike for it and he'll give you all the information.
Awesome.
So before this class, get it for you now. They can put it out loud, they take you to the.
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, once you talk to Mike, so. It's a lot of politics involved. And they're like, why do you want to do that job? I'm like, look, I got. Yeah, call it, and for Mike Joy. So Mike. Or the supervisor that supervises that part. And then go ahead and do everything we need to go from there. If he's in direct contact with them, then they're talking directly to him. And we can go into the park and be like, here's donation.
Yeah.
To then be checked and distributed and all of that stuff. Yeah, they go to a meeting for it. They're like, what do you want to know? I was like, well, I have people that want to donate, so. The thing is, anything major needs to work. You can the other.
Oh, yeah, the parent newsletter, there's like 600.
Yeah. For three.
It's like for one of the majors.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a draft, you have a parent of it.
Yeah,
think it's
we're
observation.
trying to do that. That's fine. Why?
November 3rd.
Yeah, so we have.
The draft is like observations.
Okay, so yeah, we have the parent newsletter due next to like about 3:13, and we have the draft. You know the presentation we're doing?
Yeah.
We have the draft. A draft.
Oh,
But it's really like.
oh, yeah, that I have yet to know what I'm supposed to be doing or presenting on. I forgot.
There's the one.
November 3rd.
What was the one today?
It's
That's the other class, isn't it?
yeah, those were 306. Yeah.
I know when you guys talk about something I don't even talk about. Okay, cool, that means. Something. Not involved in that one, the next one.
Yeah.
But I just know that the parent newsletter, I'm probably starting on and. But technically, it's not true, false. That's what throws me off with her stuff. It's correct or not correct. But they can be correct partly. And you're like, oh, yeah, it's false, but no, it's good.
So, remember the first person we had for
For the last year?
No, this one. So I put true false. I was like, we got she does correct and correct.
Yeah, because her statements be correct. It's just not always. Yeah, that's what throws me off for stuff. It's like, if it was true, false, a lot of this would be false. But like, since it's correct or not correct, it's very dependent on how she's wording the statement. You know, it's correct. Luckily, I had her last something. So that's like, well, that's what is he talking about? In China time. I looked it up. There's quite the same. You can't be a teacher. Be a child. Yeah. Child. Yeah. They just got. Yeah, it's all like that. No, it's good. You're just making the kids. Yes. That's all. Yeah. Yes, all that. There's a major. Yeah. I mean, one. Yeah. And then Vanessa really, well, you want to see it. Like before the intro was like. Yep. So and I said the following.
And then like I was like the registration office or whatever it was. And they gave me the wrong information, gave me like the advisory to like secondary. So like and my friend yeah, but for like trying not to do and just like gotta have to so he's looking at my message. And like I think she was tired, but then like he's like, oh yeah, you have third order. So I did that and I was really no response as I got myself done. Can you like do this for me now? It's like okay, I just fired people and I fired that 2 weeks ago. This would have been hopeful like last week.
Like a different trio. Oh, no, she asked for a final treatment. She was like, no, it's too big. But well, I wish you would have answered.
Exactly.
It is now mid-October.
But where's my and Fine. Let's see. Like stuff. He was okay. And so you're like, you're
Yeah. Most scenarios.
if it's so.
Yeah. Give me all the signs. Oh, I know. Like, had one kid, literally was sick, like he was sweating, he lay down on the desk, and the hours. Sorry. Hey, let me know, it happened before he got here, and he was really sick. So, I don't know if you do this. Oh, yeah, I know. It's. For you.
When I so like I went, there was a so like I don't need to and like they or yeah, the child is sick, there will be It's most of the time, but there will be times where they post all meeting orders. Well, like, it's crazy, but.
I used to be in principal and not say after the first 2 years, but then I got COVID. Got used to being away from COVID. No, never got COVID. No, yeah, that's one class a day. I don't know if it's exciting. Honey, guys, I know I'm really doing that. Part of it, but I'm switching. Yes, there's a way to get we are the one or like really all. Yeah. Like, if you plan to teach at school, you realize, but sometimes you tend to partition schools. Yeah, I mean, it's my loophole. Especially if you're only, I would have to teach this class and the next class. If I don't. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Keep it still beginning. Really, but you get a book, right? To a child. Why do I read? No.
School.
Mark.
What?
School is
Actually, I shaking my head. You making decisions? Okay.
waiting on.
No, really. I did push for what. Now or how it's been. So, so thank you for accommodating my request. Well, absolutely. That's the it was nice on that. Same person that that's tips or so whatever are. I enjoyed watching. Still, some of the teachers are so very good. Upstairs. So what did you think about that? About, just the comments. What did you think? Yeah. I also kind of felt like a bit for the understand the center. We had stuff like this before. And she is that it's not pregnant by somebody that I think she was he said she was great. But he said I was thinking about it. So the person said, well, I need that. It's like, yeah, I need them too. So, the parent just said, oh, but we don't even have those things. We need the person. So, then after that, yeah, we will go back to the position of the support or in teacher, master, then we have that. But it's not really, we're not going to just do it. We will do it. Just listen back, but we not just sit down. You have to put that. I know that she was a person, but you don't know that. But I know that it was the she, right? The tree, the axe, the mission, some of your activities. So, as the speaker has done in person and parent teacher conference, a lot of parents who don't want to admit that their child has a disability. They must want to be that. And you have to like lay out all the documentation that you made up. This is what it is. Sometimes they finally, okay, all right, I'm for it. Thanks for working with myself. I don't want to do it. I want to do something else. It escalates. A lot of parents don't want to admit that their child has autism. It's just something that they're not ready for. Brings me up. Because the teachers experiences with, I think one of the hardest things is not to find the what they do. Because when you're not studying this is going to be when it turns out the races are because but anyway, that's not what I'm looking for working. I don't know what this is. Have you ever went to the second things?
Occasionally, when I first started working at the artistic gymnastics, I was a little overwhelmed because I hadn't worked in a while, so I was kind of like refreshing myself on something. And one of the things I was struggling with was an eye on kids like as a whole. And so there was one day when I was having to get to this obstacle course thing, and one of the parts of it was that you were bold, it was like backwards. And so I had turned around because one kid was messing around and doing something. And so in the 2 seconds I back was trying, the kid started to roll over by himself. And when I looked back, the kid had landed, not injured or anything, but then within 5 seconds, his dad marched into the gym, which is where the parents are not allowed to be little lobby outside. And he was yelling at me about how his kid could have like snapped his back and all this stuff. And I was like very overwhelmed because the dad was so angry at me. I didn't even see what happened. And so I kind of like, I tried to stand my ground, but I like faltered really quickly. And so I need my coworkers stepped in to say, I'm like, all the guys going, yeah. So yeah. So when the parents come out like really strong with it, it's difficult for them to keep calm.
Somebody else knows that. Yeah. Wait, is it really, can this be a guy?
Like a lot of emotions. Yeah, so thankfully recently, I mean, this year we haven't had any like major like issues with parents, all the things. Sometimes we like moments. They just are doing really good at listening to like what we are providing their students and their kids very much. Last year we did a few instances where the parents would only take the side of their kids and then do what they say, not what we say to them. So that was really difficult, frustrating.
So let's start with what we want. The parents of child, CP. What can we do to remedy those kinds of situations? What is happening?
So usually when the parent only listens to the child and me, I always start with like, again, there's always three sides to the story, my side, your child's side, and the truth. I usually try to back it up with just, I always write down that I have a journal. This isn't a journal, for example, throughout my years. I'm gonna bring it in next class. But I have a journal that's like 3 years old now of every game I played, every child, every like incident, everything. I have it in a notebook. So usually when I have meetings, my kids hate to see it when it comes to meetings. They see my red notebook and I open it and I'm like, hey, on this date at this time, you said this or you did this. And to have testimonial, like just have some evidence, but also don't berate the child like we saw the evidence, give like on the sandwich, like you're very good on this day. Like I pull up my notebook still again, the same notebook, like on this day, you hooked up the chairs. On this day, you were standing on top of the chairs. Like that cause and effect of the differences in your behavior, evolving literally. Especially my evidence that your child doesn't sit down. That's usually my thing. Like, well, like your child doesn't sit down. This day they're able to run and they're running around. This day they're playing with the blocks. I have evidence. That way, the child can't lie through evidence. The child can't be sweet and give them the puppy dog face like they're being mean to me. Like you have evidence on your side. Most times parents will back down. They'll still be mad. They start yelling at the child, baby, that you look like they'll still be mad. But that's usually the best way to help with it. Just keep a little journal, just have evidence on your side. If you're just arguing with a child, you're arguing with a child. You'll never win. I've learned you'll never win.
It's good. And that's what I'm trying to get at. But let me see if anybody else. I think that's the.
Pretty much what she does, we have all our data collected. So the person will have a. That's just not pretty much our eyes and processing.
So do you want to know when the child is, when the interrupting child or after?
Yeah, I do both.
So other people may be asking, when do you have to?
Okay. Okay, so like I said, I keep that journal like everywhere with me. So especially during summer camp when I'm a director. So I'll walk around the field, I'll have it in my bag. This same bag that I take to school, I take it to work every day, hold all my stuff. So let's say a kid falls down, I need to put a Band-Aid on it. As I'm getting the Band-Aid on the child, so the Band-Aid on the child. 10:23, child fell down while playing Johnny from across, need a Band-Aid. So that I don't go home until they parent that they got hurt. So as soon as the parent comes attacking me or my underlings, so during summer camp, there are a lot of seasonal who are brand new or 16, never done before. I go from my notebook and be like, well, yes, at 10:23, your child did fall. And yes, we did apply a Band-Aid at this time. And maybe if I don't see it, I get told later about it, I write it down. At 10:23, child fell, playing Johnny come across, we put Band-Aid on it, I was notified. Was parent notified? No, child seemed fine. So even if you shorthanded it, like even if you shorthanded, like, hey, child fell, fit Band-Aid on. And later on, you want to put more details in there, you can later, but on the spot, it's like, hey, I put a Band-Aid on little Johnny. Here we go. Like that way, you know, because you might not remember, a child might come back 2 weeks ago, but 2 weeks later, like, hey, I fell and no one helped me. And the parents will come in angry at you. You're not gonna remember 2 weeks ago, but your notebook will. Your notebook will remember everything.
Yeah, so I would just, yes, like we have to, like if a child is there, we have to get the separate and put them in the system. And if it's like, they get grades, or they like book into something. So, call the parents. So then like, you go home. So, I would understand, especially for those who have not had this experience. Because that is in fact what they're in. So you need to take notes and for you to make sure you're documenting. So if you're not, if you say, oh, I'm just gonna do it later or whatever the case may be, you'll forget. So as you just deal with the situation, it's better to just write it. Like I just said, even if all you have to do is just do a shorthand and then go and finish it later, then do that. It's just like charting. If you're a nurse or a doctor or you work in the medical field, as a technologist or whatever, when you're attending to patients, you need to document what's happening there and then. Is this person reacting to a medication that you give to them? What happened? How did it happen? Did they say anything about it? What kinds of questions did you ask? And, you hear about nurses charting after work. They may finish work at 7 p.m., but they don't get home till they're going to their job. So those are the kinds of things. As a teacher, you want to make sure that you are documenting all these things down. It used to be that seekers are the people who do that. But as time has progressed, we see a lot more of that in the general education classroom for the same reasons that we're seeing today. Because the parents are coming at you don't know what to say, or you forgot what happened 3 weeks ago, or even a week ago. Who knew what they had like this time last Wednesday? Nobody knew. But unless you maybe eat something, but anyway, but but the thing is that if you don't document, you just forget. And when somebody has a strong reaction to you, like the one that Papa just described, in fact, everything just flies off your head because you're just trying to manage. Okay, this person in front of you is so you want to make sure that keep calm, go to your notes, to the part to your notes. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, also with note taking, like if you're not the principal or director, a lot of times I'm not really the director until summer camp. But I tell my seasonal during summer camp, take notes because easy for me, because when they leave, I sit here with the phone when the parents do this. So it's good to have the notes that people have passed information to, like another coworker, someone else. So like parents are blindside anyone. They don't care if you're the home teacher, if you're the teacher who really did it. So it's best to have that information for everybody. That means everyone's covered and no one gets attacked. So that's why it's always good to have those notes. Because if I was like, if I was anyone's boss and I got a phone call at 3:02 and you left at 3 o'clock and someone told me their kid fell and I didn't know about it, I'm gonna handle it the best I can and keep them in calm, but I'm gonna be mad at you when you come back in and it's good. I'm like, why was I not told that person? So it's always good to have that information just for yourself, but also for the school or the center.
Exactly what the committee said, like we put everything in Aspen, incident report, on daily log, branch lines, we cover everything, that way everybody knows.
Wow. So Shamir, how is this different? Is it the same in the Islamic school where you taught, or is it different? Can you share with us?
Like, I know like there are other things where everyone is my students, my students. So this is correct. Well, thank you.
Like, you inform the parents?
Have you been
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So teachers you don't have direct contact with the parents?
not, uh, not necessarily?
Okay.
Because like, it's like when it happens, like, whether I'm thinking about this. Other people. Things.
Yeah.
So, definitely.
That's interesting. Different situations. Actually, you have been doing something. Have you experienced anything like this since your time starting to stop?
Not necessarily like day-to-day something. When I did more maternity leave, I was there for longer periods of time I did. So the preschool, we did mostly progress reports, which were similar, like big charts that we would get to just kind of collect data for. I substituted for like a K through second grade special ed teacher. That one was a lot more hands-on with the parents, and so if I wasn't emailing them about anything I was noticing, we were setting up like in-person meetings with their homeroom teacher. So I feel like staff support is a really big indicator and a very big help for like how a meeting can be run. So now I kind of feel out how an interaction will be like if it's like a cut or a scrape or an altercation with a student that like isn't very, I don't want to say serious, but like necessary to bring support staff into. It's like easier to talk to a parent, but for larger issues that may involve some like heightened emotions, definitely like using our social worker as a resource or like our dean of students or principal, just as like a buffer to kind of have, so that you can then feel like your statements that you're making are supported by somebody. So so yes and no, like there is no time, but we figure out, ways to do it. We kind of do, like a 5 day a week, however many periods of, subjects we have chart. So like recently, one of the students in our second grade were collecting data for because we think he should either have an individual paraprofessional or he should maybe repeat first grade to get some more like skills strengthened. But as of right now, our administration and like the company, our special ed company, we go through LASIK. They're kind of like, no, he'll be fine. And the teacher and I know from the years that we've had him that he just needs constant support. So now we have to document every time we redirect him. So every time he doesn't catch a direction the first time, every time he doesn't go back to the seat. So it really just takes more than one teacher in the room to be able to do that. That's why like being a SICA or being a paraprofessional, being able to have somebody else like tag team, whether they're like leading the class while you're taking notes or vice versa. It's so important because if you're doing it by yourself, there's just kind of like how Archive was saying, like you could turn your head for 2 seconds and something can happen that you don't even know of. So it really just takes multiple staff members. So that's the part of this. So we have a student, but he has not done, but they still have some, and they have
Well, and one of them has a Mandy and she has a four of them. One is the there's two others, but every time like them just pick something okay. And then at the end of the day they'll have the child stuff. And then they'll write the food and their work use or whatever. I had to tell them to get in mind that like on some days, like we have 4 to 5 like in the so so I think the rest is one.
So much easier. It does. I do it by myself. Great. So wonderful.
So-called, I do the observations or like the lesson plans during their nap time. Their nap time is like from 12:30ish to 3. So that's the time. But during that time, I'll be like one of the, within that time, I will be taking my lunch, so don't have enough time to do the paperwork.
So
Yeah.
like
For me, so-called right now, before we had 12 kids, so 3 teachers, but then we moved it back to 10 students, so only 2 teachers for 5 students each in the classroom. And I'm not the like head teacher, I'm the assistant teacher. So I'm right now, because we don't have a lead teacher for the toddler classroom, I've been doing the observations for the classroom. And then the one that's for the infant classroom, she'll be sometime over in the toddler classroom. On the days I'm not there, she'll be doing the other days observations and lesson plans. Yeah.
Yeah, I, I mean, I have downtime during their nap time, which is from like 1 to 3. So I'll just be like writing, I have like daily sheets for all of them. So I write what they did throughout the day, and then I write a parent a little note of like everything is positive. I always start with positive things. If they like just didn't really have such a great day, I don't write it down. I tell them. I say, by the way, like they had a great day, but they were so like tired, or they just weren't having that day today. But over the day, like throughout the day, they were fine. So I never like throw negative at the parents, because if I do, they're just gonna say, right? Um, a lot of bad things about my kid, but my kid is fine. So I make sure to write everything down, and to have like, if it's something like serious, to have my director there in case these parents are trying to say, why are you saying this about my kid? This never happened. Yeah.
that's so it will be separate. It's so critical. So it's something to do. So you have to make sure that you have what's the points. Just give it's good to say, oh, your child is a great artist or whatever, but show me the difference. Where is the sample? So make sure that what's up, then you don't have to keep it, you just have to keep it two things. And you need to write little notes about things that, that are not to be there. You know, for example, if a child storms out of the room, that is not a time to be considered or have a paper to show the parents for you to be documented. So, you know, correction as well as I hope that you would. We're working on that. So that is one of the things, the phrase that I find is so very helpful. Is we're working on what it's never that it sounds bad in this area. Because, you know, they're not saying that's on. So it's like, oh, you know, we're working on something. We're working on using our words, you know, talk to the children, get a feeding round. We're working on, we're making progress. To reinforce that at home, how to really good. And just even asking the parents what they're seeing. So, because sometimes children are maybe on the tired, and so they don't have the same kind of interactions at home. So if you're going to rush at any child, you don't have a second to do that with that. You have that school of that. But so that becomes very, very because they're building socialization skills, because they're working with the we're working on this particular skill. Children and children, we're teaching them things. It's important for us to know what particular skill. The same thing with even academic skills, or even developmental skills, like motor skills. We're working on this skill. We're working on sounds of the text. We're working on identifying agency. So academic skills. We're working on numbers. Then differences. So if you put it like that, usually parents are not because they didn't know that they're trying to share. So let's do a little bit of a review. Thank you for that conversation around how we remedy issues that will make parents from their upset. What we need to do to defend ourselves. Your greatest defense is your ability to provide evidence by documentation. But let's do, for those of us who are in class last to bring our stories, I would like you to find a partner to talk about some of the things that, some of the salient points that came out of their skills. So, what are some of the things that, so we talked about the few of them, but what would make a parent-teacher conference go more? So, find a partner and do it kind of help with you. So, you need experience person.
Selling
I was here, but I don't really remember it. I think they did two skits. One was the first one, the parent was angry at the teacher and asking why their child was having bad grades in the class. And then the second one, the parent was more nice to the teacher. Yeah. The first one's not, the parent was angry because of the grade the child's getting. And then the teacher was trying to calm the parent down in the first one. I think so, yeah. The parent teacher conference thing for this week. And then we're supposed to so-called, I think next week or this week, we're doing a discussion board, like a video of it. Yeah, this little thing. I'm not sure how we're gonna do this one thing.
I think we have to.
Yes, I think this so-called is a partner activity. Yeah, that's a partner. Yeah, I think so. She didn't really talk about it yet, so I think she'll talk about it today. This one. Yeah, this one she might talk about today. And then this week I'm not sure if we still have the one for the event this past Saturday, that little discussion board. I attended. Yeah, I attended. I liked it. It was the way I attended so-called there was ABCD. I did the first one, and then the first section was with the the Arthur from the first one, the first meeting on Zoom. That one. This time she talked about the water table, water activity, the table stuff. And then the second one after her was a librarian, two librarians from the Evanston Library. The third one was from like the DCF, those people about mental health and tantrums in the children. Yeah, that's the first one I chose. And then the other ones they seem interesting too, but like the way like can't from finish one and then go to another room to join it. Yeah, can't do that. Yeah, I woke up early for it too. Yeah. Yeah, 7:30. I waked up very early, like 5-ish, 6 to attend. We got lost on the way there. Yeah, because the opening for the parking lot, it was not even like it didn't look like a way to the school. It was like the little driveway-ish, but it didn't look like it was to a school. It didn't say like even though they had their sign, the corner, the little driveway inside to the school was like, and it was nighttime. I mean, not nighttime, but morning, but not a lot of light. Yeah, for that time. Close to 7:30, then there's more light. Yeah, I attended all of. There were 3 sections each for each track. Yeah. Yeah, she said, did you do the other one before? You attended? So I think if you didn't attend this one, you watch video and then do that one. Yeah, similar to the last one where other classmates, they watch a video and then like, or like another kind of online thing. And then do the discussion board. Yeah, for this one, to replace this one. Yeah. And then this one, that one would be for this one, discussion board. This one's due next week, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Not yet, not yet. I think she'll post it this week or sometime this week. And then we got this one too. For next week. She will talk about this one. Oh, and then we have this one this Friday. Got that one, the 5 to 6. That one, we need to attend that one. That's the last one. And then we got the no offline and then in person offline. That's class. Yeah, the only major thing is this one, and then the project. The project about the community. Yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot we had the workshop this Friday. Yeah, the workshop we need to attend.
Oh, nice.
Like last time. Did you attend last time? No?
Yeah.
This one, no discussion board. Just attend. Yeah, and then type your name in or something, and then you're good.
Okay.
For attend, like you attended. Have this one for this Friday. Yeah, only like three more major ones, and then those like about the chapters. So like 6-ish activity assignments left for the class for this one. This one and this one. The discussion boards are the kind of the hard ones. Right now I'm only taking this one. And then next spring, I'm taking the 301 and 306. I'm not done with block 2 yet. Are you almost done with block 2? Oh, so this semester you took all 4 classes?
Yeah, so hard.
Yeah, for the Mushi class, that's been her hours. It's the different.
So we talked about like problem solving, like solutions for the individual like problem that you're in. Also like compromising between the teacher and the parent to see what works best for the child, because that's not what everybody wants. Also like keeping like maybe evidence, because we talked about a situation where like maybe the child is bringing in their homework, but the parent is like, oh, but I do see them do homework, I help them with their homework. So have like both the stuff that they do to them and also like maybe blank like copies of what they haven't turned in to see like, oh, just because you saw them do it doesn't mean that
I think that was interesting. Because sometimes the parent can say, yes, this is something that is, but the husband is like, but you're not personal. So it becomes really, it's like, who is telling the truth? If it's child or about the child, the parent. So I really like that particular. All of a sudden, I think I'm just but the thing to do is the one. It's Mandy, so it's really good for you to. So how about Mandy?
Now I remember the second one was about like how the student was staying at home and how it seems like the student is getting spoiled by the grandparent, and they're not wanting to come to school and saying someone's bullying them when the teacher don't see evidence of them being bullied, and the parent was trying to talk to the child when they're not supposed to. And even though if there's the parent of that other child will be there, she can't do that. It has to be with the teacher and the other parent and the child during that second one. Yeah.
But when it's but now we just go for
Mm-hmm.
it just means that everybody knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, oh, I don't like the shirt. You know, that's you're bullying my child. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was a really good thing.
So I know in the park district, we try not to use the word bullying as much. Like it's kind of like I can't even judge with parents that if there's bullying happening, unless some parents are later, I'm like, okay. But like we try to redirect children's behavior now. So if I do suspect bullying, I make it a broad topic, like off the everybody's talking about the behavior, because we don't want to. That word's been used so much that we want it to hold weight still. Like we watch a lot of actually traumatizing training videos about bullying and that's bullying. That like I don't use that word anymore because of it, but like because I want my kids that you can have confrontation with one another, but not bullying each other. You're only teasing. You feel like you're teasing, you're conflict, maybe a joke went off wrong. So I kind of like have a conversation now about it. And when it comes to parents, when it comes to bring it to me, I'm saying there might have been conflict that I wasn't told of about it. And if I'm not told, I cannot be a mediator for the conflict for the children, but I do reassure them that maybe a child was teased or was told this, but I don't try to call it bullying. You don't try to reinforce or deny their complaint. I just try not to like push that narrative of bullying because it is something that's been very pushed a lot. And then the person who was accused of bullying gets bullied more by the teacher, the parents, and everybody else, even though they weren't really trying to bully nobody. And now that person was teasing is now being bullied. I've learned that it's tragic. Circumstance of people happen. So I try not to use that word at all, really, even with parents. I'm like, oh, there have been conflicts, and I try to state of that work.
That's really good. I think it's necessary to have them to use the connections. Table with parents,
Mm.
for them to say, what exactly? That's- I think that's just- Should we even say,
I'm not being on point. I feel like if we like pause, do it now. I feel like don't take it in, okay. But there's a lot of figure out and go.
I think we're ready for remembering that.
Yeah. Mm.
So the first one was just like that, the principal or the administrator was honest, authentic, and they stayed calm and professional, like you mentioned. They made the parent feel comfortable no matter what, so like when they couldn't, speak or write in English, they said that's okay, because they're smart. And kind of building off of that, they involved the family in the solution, and kind of like, as Shannon did mention, like, working to find a solution together. And also, like similarly to when the parents checking off the homework, like including them in helping their child, like collectively. Going out of the way to meet their needs, so kind of like an example of when the semester delivered the basket to the family, that's a little bit, like, not every teacher should do that, but just kind of like being aware of signs and providing as many resources as you can, without them directly asking for help. And then finally, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think for me, no, so I think the important is this because not only the partners have been some and not just include them something just ask giving you this because why you're giving that to me? Then make the choice.
Talked about how it's really important for like to use certain vocabulary and have evidence. Like in the first one, when the child was putting in their homework, it's not, oh, your child's not doing in their homework, it's just like, oh, well, I haven't been receiving it, so you give the parent, like, the confirmation that like they could be doing the homework, like, if that's what you're telling me, that's true, but if it's missing, it gets lost on the way to me. So just giving the information about like what you know, but not denying them what they know. And just being able to calm down the situation. There's a lot of vocabulary for it.
Yes. Right. So I'm not saying they're trying to help you. Instead of saying, what is it? You even know it. That's not. You don't get- I'm with- Don't try. Yeah. So, this is something like, the way that the teacher said, that mostly the parents, they can still in some sort of area, or they have to, I guess, I think it's a tone down the actual problem, so that you take on some. Because then the parent can have to trust the teacher, so there's some type of.
My group was not clear, so I informed all my members what went. In case anyone happens to. But. Well, they were.
Yeah, but yeah, it's along the line. They. So the teacher. It's like implementing. So. Just turning out. Well,
I also like, the teacher giving, like, the parent opportunities or options that like, oh, this is what we can do to raise up your son's grade. Like, we can offer this and this, but we can't raise it up to A, but we can raise it up to like a C. So I like how she gave her that opportunities for the parent to, okay, so it's not just like, okay, that's it, like, it's done, he's getting a 0 and that's that. But she gave parents more, and that's what I've seen a lot about parents, like, once they see that teachers being open-minded, well, okay, that's fine, whatever happened with the homework, let's push it aside. Now I have something else, then we can raise up his grade, and then for next time, you know. And I liked how she also, like, we're telling the parents, have the chat in the meeting, so the child can be clear what happened, what I did, so you can learn.
So. So that it was fair to all the other students who did their homework to give the kid who didn't turn it in the same grade. Which I think is fair, and like from a parent's perspective, you should kind of appreciate the fact that teachers aren't honoring the work that the student did. Especially when to the rest of the students. Especially when because this student do it. But you know, she's trying to be able to do this. Memory of what happened before I think things down. So do you think that you are to do it in month?
I'm ready. I'll definitely be a teacher. I can be a parent. I want to be a parent.
All right. The assignment is
Ready.
it's here, so so during the last class we discussed the assignment that the kind of partner to work with. You need to choose a role that's going to be either parent or the teacher. They're going to create a scenario. The scenario would be one of a sample, an example of the that we saw. And you can script it and use it to prepare your non-parents at interview conference. They're going to record and post it to a discussion group. Last spring, I had students at as I told them of this bring of them.
I want to be.
It's in front of everybody. But this one you are going to do it and you are going to post.
Oh, man. I'm ready.
I know, John. Right.
Okay.
So, you will be on Friday, and then you will post it, and everybody will be. So October 25th is when I would like to do that. So to prepare, just not from us, find out the mountain, the pairs will respond to the mountain. So in addition, next week, this week, that to work. Okay, so Just very ready. So all we're going to do now is actually sign off. So here's the.
Yeah.
Here's the sign today. So I hope you have found it.
Now,
There we go. It's like in high school, I did maybe the mock interview for the law program. Ready.
Yeah.
I made it go by. But it was hard.
Because not everybody.
I can work with it. No, just like video. Just not sure what like we have to each post the video we made or just
I'll be the.
that. Or that's the only question about that.
I think there's an odd number too.
Yes, I know.
Was that sure to get you?
You can do,
Principal.
exactly, okay, principal will be part of your conference. I think that's the one. So one parent, one teacher. Because remember at the end, we talked about the principal being in the middle. And yes, that was very, very
I
complex.
kicked that one.
Right here. Which number do you want?
That is, or it's.
I meant like you were recording it after. Number 4? Yeah.
You know, not like no, we are just going to turn it into this. So everybody's gonna watch that. So, but if you want to script it, you can script it. So that everybody knows what to do. But if it's still something you don't have the choice.
That's the day.
I will.
Oh, yeah. All right.
What? Yeah, 5 minutes.
I just wanted to clarify, please put them. Parents that he's going to do this summer.
Oh.
Or you may not do that today. You know, that's up to you. So your video should not be more than 7 minutes. Please. So 5 minutes to 7 minutes. Max. I made it 7 minutes last semester, I made it 5, and people kind of scrambled. But if you make it 7, I think that's a 6 bucks. Okay. So because some people have more information. So practice and make sure that you. I usually don't like posting things that are very long because people kind of lose track very quickly. But if it is short and sweet, people will be able to look at it. So that's what you should be. Not more than 7 minutes. Let me count it. So, yeah. That makes sense. So what I'm going to be watching for is, are things like, I know that I will not see your preparation because that's something I'm going to do together, but how you do the video. You remember what we said at the last? Do you remember the sandwich? Do you remember?
Compliment sandwich.
What is the sandwich for those who are not here?
Okay, so you start off with a good thing the child does, then the negative thing that the child needs to work on, then end it with a good thing that the child still does. Then the parent is hungry and proud.
And that part is always the tricky part. How to say such and such? And I'm giving you one of the tricks that I used to use is we are working on. So, but how are some other ways that you things something that not as
Something that I've been trying to do lately is, I think it's easy to give a compliment and then say, but
so-and-so did this today. So I've been trying to at least catch myself and change that to and,
Thank you.
because you can still say that little Johnny was great at centers and he was great at lunch, and we ended up having a really hard day because after that, yada, yada, yada. So knowing that they can still have their shining moments while having moments to improve on. Mhm.
So the end is such a. That's something that. I catch. Well, then.
I usually say like something along the lines like, little Kevin is very energetic and enthusiasm. It's so much fun to be in the classroom. However, we are working on channeling some of that energy to be more focused on the task at hand instead of always being so excited to do everything for everybody. Because they all like it's the same compliment, the same statement, just slightly tweaked.
So always remember one thing, when you have a child that has a, when you see this person. A child that's very strong. Where, see that child is very you just absolutely but why not this? That's something that you would desire out of your child. But then if the child doesn't finish homework, helping everybody else, that becomes, an appease for that child. So you have the strength for helping the child to channel this strength to be able to support themselves too. So that's another ways of phrasing that, what have you seen? Nina, in your own class and just think that what are the ways I would phrase that, so talk about this. So, don't talk about saying. Yeah, but so another way of phrasing that, so that's what we do. I don't think so. What have you done in your class?
I would say that the child is improving, they're not there yet, but they're like working on it, they're like almost at the finish line, so it's that big progress that needs to be seen.
There is one. How about your class, Justin? What emotions have you seen this thing out when you get to that?
Like for the compliment part,
No, but that negative part.
usually you say however,
Okay.
this was good, however.
How about you, Debbie? That's great. That's always the. Say this. Or if there's anything that there's any way to write up that. Right, so thank you for that. So that is that. I will close the assignment so that you now know it's. Then the other 7 minutes. No, 5 minutes. From the 4 5 minutes. Okay, so that's one thing down. Let's talk about the assignment or the group assignment, which is a big project. Yeah, so some of you were not in class, so we talked about that. I said, because we ran out of time for this time, I did ask you to go home and think about who will be in your groups. Right? How many people did I say that you remember project? So we are going to
we are going to make. So we are going to sign up for that today. So there will be 4 groups, there will be 1 group of 4. So if you have not decided who will be your group next, can you make that decision now? So talk to each other about who will be your group. You want to sign up, you want us to write down the neighborhood? Yes, I was going to say that. So that's the other thing. You want to say that? Okay. So please write down your neighborhood. The neighborhood that you have chosen. It needs to be a Chicago neighborhood. It cannot be in Everton, it cannot be in Howard. So it needs to be in Chicago. So make sure that you look for it. And look online because there's a lot on as you can find about all the neighborhoods. The maps of different neighborhoods are on. So make sure that just where you're going to find the garments. Or the neighborhoods. No. Yeah. Yeah. Do it, go to the-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what neighborhood have you decided? Okay. So once what a neighborhood is chosen, they're not having to.
Okay. Look. Cheap work still. We call that place. What is it? I know the price for that.
Going on, that is going around. It means on the side of not. Yeah, the attendance for today. Okay, I think other groups that need to sign up. Okay, so Mandy needs to sign up.
I'm gonna be first.
So Mandy.
Jessica, Jocelyn and Miriam. You can do one. Oh,
Yeah.
No idea. I, You can do. You can help a little, you can do little Italy, you can do, you can do a little bit. And you there, you can do, the park, you can do, West Water Park. You now, yeah, the humble parks, you can do,
Urban Park.
Irving Park, Lincoln Park.
You the regular.
I know all of Chicago. What neighborhood?
Yo, we know you what neighborhood, like, I know you can't. See, that's a good number. Good, that's good.
Here you go, satin. Satin sheet.
So let's take a quick break and
There's more snacks.
some snacks.
See, I'm gonna be the first, you know, it's first time. Very elegant. I was first gonna go. First gonna fund it.
I think so. Oh my God. We're gonna talk, and they kind of like, you know, I love it. They focus a lot.
Oh, no. Hey, I thought I was coming around. Oh, over there. It's something.
That's what I would say. It was more so about all the like it was so cool. You just look so like I really like that. That's not so much. I was like, I can't even believe it. It was so fun. So lot of conversation. Yeah.
This until like I started reading. Yeah, they're good and they send emails about everything too.
Yes. Adopted Mandy. Someone put this, I didn't realize what pays on my basketball.
Did you transfer any?
It's all. I'm taking that now. I paid them, so I got my refund. And we don't cover all of it. So you have to give me this, like,
Yeah.
I remember.
That's happened to me. Yeah, in summer. Okay. Like, covered those that I can't do.
Then it covers.
And then the grant money. No, okay. This was just like, why would I have to pay them? When I got here.
I took.
I did, yeah.
I
I
still
had to
have-
take two.
I still have one. I have.
The last semester, I was out the way.
I still have one more to go. Because for some reason.
And I'm associated.
The people are associates.
Well, I know, they just-
They didn't. They don't. Yeah, and my-
I looked at like the requirements.
I did, I literally, my union rep said, "Hey, Tom." And then I came here and they said, "Yeah." And I said, "It's like, they were looking like, "Press, like, oh, you need to do this age genetics." No, I wasn't even using this stuff. I knew that, okay, you do whatever. I was like, that makes sense. But I was on lunch, so I knew I was gonna use it stuff like that. And I was like, I need to do this. And go before. Yeah. And my school was in Ohio. That's.
Oh. That's fine.
You can go.
My first.
Why don't you let us
Last
know
year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
And I did like 15, 16, and then I- That's.
Yeah.
Is that a Telfar bag?
Yeah.
Is that a Telfar bag?
Yeah.
That's so cute. I've wanted one for so long. Oh, it's so cute. I want like a one of the so cute.
And
I love that.
that's so much of my day. It's like a lucky. I swear. I feel like a whole my mouth. That's what you do. That's yeah. Yeah. that was-
He could be me, I'm like, hey, there. My notebook is everything, every class, every example, every. It just told me.
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not like.
And they're back with
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are really
the reflection.
Great.
Yeah.
Just understand. That class is just in class, you don't get nothing. Yes, for me, that's all I have class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and work. I work, I'm working Wednesday to Saturday. And he's like, you don't want to go, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm tired. Sunday.
To get it done.
I don't think I've gotten that. Yeah, there might be both. Yeah. Yeah, I got. Maybe.
So please, get your book out. And we're just,
you.
Yeah. I guess.
Have just
Or we could just do like a chart, like one for benefit. One
Yeah.
for, I'll
job,
go.
Mayor. Crazy. Wow. Pros of having God.
I feel like so like no risk is like it's a distraction.
Yeah.
Easy.
Both teacher and the kid, especially the
Mostly the kids I feel like.
yeah, especially the kid of like whose parents are.
Yeah. To for risk we have is that it's a distraction with issue.
Yeah.
Like people get very excited when they see their parents because like the good thing is that like it shows that the parent is interested in the child like
The parent care.
yeah. So plus would be like parent
Yeah.
and showing interest.
In the child life.
Yeah. Wait, so
What?
where did you teach?
I teach at a school.
Where?
Columbia.
Oh no.
You live in
I
Columbia?
live in-
Really? My parents go there.
Oh for real?
Yeah.
Wait, what high school did you go?
Lumber South.
Oh, that has me.
Really?
Yeah.
I got 29.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I have no idea.
That's crazy.
That's fun.
Yeah. So
Like wearing Lundy, right?
so I'm right. So in between Landland and Kingston, right? Like by Willow, like it's in the border of Orangeburg and Glenview.
Okay, go. You were speaking in school.
Yeah.
When they're there.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Right?
That's-
So.
You know, 3 Point, it's Northbrook.
I think so.
That's the school I'm at.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Wait, that's so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I work over there.
Okay, that's- Like, do you know where you live?
I live near here. But yeah. Um, more. I don't do one thing more. Makes me interested.
I think this could be maybe.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
intervention.
Interrupting, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a plus could be like an extra set of hands.
Yeah.
Especially from different families. That's like apparently not a teacher. Different set of eyes.
So then the one that I feel like it gives you like where it's like the child sees the interaction between the parent and the teacher.
Okay.
Because like if the teacher treats or if the parent teacher treats like terribly like disrespects, the child sees that and the child's like, okay, if the parent is doing it, then it gives you the right to disrespect.
Yeah.
And then if the student sees the teacher, like parent teacher, like, treating the teacher like with respect and everything. Basically like. Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Parent, don't know how to word it. Sorry.
Yeah.
we gotta go as far as we can. And
Leave the child in the place.
Yeah.
Like the youngest.
Yeah.
For both.
But does that have to, I think that's to do more of like benefits for children rather than benefits for teachers, kind of.
Like,
Oh, because it's supposed to put benefits.
yeah,
Yeah,
So we could
it's
put,
like they're doing benefits for children.
Yeah.
Like they would do that.
so we would have put,
I mean, I guess we could write that and just relate to that, how it's like good for the teacher because like their students are,
so for,
I don't know.
Would it be a con then?
I mean,
it's tough. Well, like, yeah.
so, how it's. I mean, I. Yeah, like you said. But then again, it also depends how the parents raise it.
Exactly.
So I could also.
Cause like, I definitely noticed.
Yeah, so I can't put it on.
No, it's you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, it's like a pro and a con.
Yeah, it's a mix of.
Is it one? Or be at the same level as the parents? Like that. Yeah.
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 And then you go all the emails. Child's heart. And then-
The things for the con be like so far when the teacher in the classroom, they understand how the teachers teach.
Wait, what? For a con?
Or just a like
So-
to understand the way they're teaching.
Yeah. Especially.
Yeah.
I guess I'm for teacher help, or like, oh, wow.
So like,
Understand. I don't know.
then the parents can understand what they're doing.
So then, yeah, so like, so then, help in child development.
Yeah.
Teacher and parents want to be in.
Like to go on that, like the parent can step on the teacher's toes and get too involved.
Oh, like. I mean, personally, I don't.
Like,
Is there anything above? Yeah.
So, what if it just, it's not, actually, like. And. Yeah. Uh,
so many different like dialects and phrases, but different situations, tone, like specific to the area. Like, only if that's something that's supposed to.
is long.
So, well,
No, yeah.
If you started, talk about what you, before we started, well, then that's what we talked about. So before we talk about what you talk about some of the why we want them. What, so many ways what you want.
Learning it and get them comfortable with it. How to do it. Yes, because anywhere else. So, but it used to be that, this kind of that everywhere. So the school life are not as we have it. But with the radical programs, we do, you what or something very big business. Far away, even if you live in the city, somebody could build, even on the north side, the south side, and that. So you see all that those kinds of situations. So we have this situation now. Yes, those are struggles. Usually more. Unless it's getting to school, then I go read. And how much
Yeah, absolutely. That we want to use up. Great. Want to then do like. I think the best parents are company have people. So how to do what to what they have. Every hour. Not everything. But I want to know. That's really that. But with the right goal, parents being involved and the government also gives her the right to be involved in the education of their children. And even rather than also so that's why I do this. These activities to go to. What are those benefits? What are the potential? So let's get started from this one. What are the potential benefits and the potential of having parents both ways? Overall, except for the benefits, the more the parents are involved, there's an increased rate in like retention and involvement. They want to come back more, like showcase that they were able to go into class. We also think that parents seeing their child in a new environment can be helpful because it gives them the tools and but kind of like what John was saying, bridge that school, like energy and environment into their home learning. And then we also talked a little bit about language and how there can be pros and cons. And that for benefits that it gives multiple language opportunities for English as a second language students. So maybe if there's someone who speaks more Spanish or speaks Italian, like I said, in our school, we have a lot of Ukrainian kids, that, parent being there to help bridge that language is very beneficial, and it just gives them a boost of confidence that, something that they might see as a barrier can be celebrated and like needed in the classroom. But the potential cons can also be. So, and that like as well as like, and then it's a manufactured time and effort to like the teacher has to put like their with some students like lesson planning and then put their parents as well. And then sometimes the system feels uncomfortable. We can like feel or from the and sometimes they can feel like they need to be a teaching and then like really keep like really when is going to be and like class, competency, basically there's before parents were not. That's really so sometimes for at least that would be One says education. Something that we do. Okay. That was standard. But now anybody can put it. So the test is very. Now, what's talking about English? Because we cannot, even though having a lot of things. Not everybody thinks. Yeah, so. There's some like. But someone don't. Without asking somebody to translate, from this they one of the things asked me to. But I even felt like when I was translating that it wasn't coming out right. And it was also hard because I knew that as a parent, I needed to use different vocabulary with the teachers. Because if I use the same vocabulary as her, the parent wasn't gonna understand, so it's not to tone it down to a little bit. But then I also want to like, for them to, take into consideration that not everybody has the same dialect. So what one kid might mean they won't understand. Like for this example, we read called every day for like children that are and all mom and for the teachers in our school. So I was kind of confident to really teach the child is really so she didn't understand me what I was trying to say. So I really don't know how I put it into words so that she could understand me, but I think that she understood me. Like, like she understood me at the end, but it was kind of hard to put it into words. And understanding her accent as well was kind of hard. And then, Nancy, you want us to share about your people, what, what was your opinion? Yeah, Google Translate also kind of, as Gabby is saying, doesn't have to pick the dialect or like certain regions of language. So we have a lot of Ukrainian kids at our school, and we try to make all charts in different languages, so they can kind of like remind themselves of like what the rules are in the hallway. And luckily, we have it in PLL as well. We had to kind of reverse put in what to put in Google Translate to see how it like translates again. So the example that I used, if you wanted to say quiet, so we put that in English, it gave us the Ukrainian translation, but when we reversed it, we put in the Ukrainian phrase it gave and asked for the English translation. Shut up. And I was like, okay. Right. So like there's so many different like phrases how we'll say like please be quiet now, listen please, like there's so many different ways of saying the point that you're trying to make, and Google Translate just isn't always the best. Or so you kind of choose like what you're looking for. Really for you to think of the so you just have to so that is always the I just want to put that in mind. we have tools, but that, so therefore, that is the thing that will you and it's how do you
So pros be included, the parent showing that he cares in the child's life. That we have big impact, there's always one parent involved. They can basically tell in the child whether the parent is not involved for the most part. It's also an extra set of hands for teachers. Sometimes teachers have a lot to handle, so it can be some support for them. And it also gives parents the opportunity to be able to gain trust in the teacher, the students in the classroom.
Um, when the parents are in the classroom, they get to understand how the teacher will be teaching their child, and then like that will be a way to help with the parent to help the student with their assignment later on at home. That's a oh,
For the cons, parent, if it's they're wanting to log, phone, parent could also be like schedule, the child, especially the child, to follow, well, first be really distracted. But also what we talked about the they are imitating, sorry, that whole,
Other, if, like another is that part. But then what about the like,
always. So it is. It's not so. Very. Is why, yeah.